This is the HPT.
Sit right down, put on your poker face. You with the big dogs now. Better bring your best game. Talk trash all you want. To me, it's all the same. You won't leave with much when you come in second place. And I'm the one with the stack showing 7 to the jack. Gon' cry to your mama, cause I'm sending you back. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. Last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand.
How you doing, everybody, and welcome to the HPT. I'm James Larson, joined by my broadcast partner, the one, the only, Mr. Robert Williamson III. This week, we conclude our event from Black Hawk, Colorado, right here at the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor. 5 players remain. Only one can be our new champion, and that person is going to go home with just over $240,000.
$240,000? What am I doing in the broadcast booth? I should be at the final table.
Another great week here on the HPT. For our 8th consecutive time out here in Colorado, our prize pool has surpassed $1 million. So with no further ado, let's meet the players, look at the chip counts, and most importantly, check out the prize pool. Up top, just over $240,000. Truly life-changing cash, my friend.
And they're guaranteed $49,000 already.
So awesome that we did another $1 million prize pool out here at Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor for the 8th time in a row. Joe Sirac leading the group. Right behind him, though, Jose and James and Alex and Jacob rounding out the group. How about Joe's play last week? This guy put on a poker clinic.
He truly did. I'll tell you what, he outplayed his opponents time and time again. Well, let's see if he can continue that, because it works until it doesn't. Remember, that's the golden rule of poker.
Exactly. So 5 players remain. We will crown a champion tonight. We're so happy that you joined us here on the HPT. Action is on Joe Sirac. He's got pocket sixes, so picking up right where he did last week with that hot hand. He's going to raise it up to 160,000 chips. Over to Jimmy now in the 9 seat.
I think Jim's got a pretty good hand here. He's taken an awful long time considering this decision.
Joe's on the button. Jim is in the small blind, so he's going to just make the call here with ace-king. You would have liked a raise there, a re-raise.
I certainly would, especially because then you can lead it to almost any flop.
2 players.
All right, so heads up now to the flop. And the flop is queen, jack, trey, couple of spades.
And a gut straight draw for James on this flop with 2 overcards. Kind of a confusing flop, though. Usually when there's 2 face cards on a flop, it fits somebody's hand.
So James is going to check over to Joe. Joe sizing up the situation.
Yeah.
He's going to check as well.
I like that check, actually. That's a dangerous flop.
So both players checking that flop of queen, jack, trey. And now look at this. On the turn card, the ace of clubs.
I think Joe realizes there's a very high likelihood of his hand not being good anymore. And I love that check on the flop.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
James trying to get a little tricky.
He sure is. Now that'll elicit a bet from our long-term pro, Joe Sirac.
Remember, Jim just called from the small blind, did not re-raise. Joe was the raiser with his pocket sixes, and he's going to go ahead and put a bet out there of $300,000. I think James is probably going to raise him here.
I don't know. It's a highly coordinated flop, and then the turn card 2 flush draws, a straight already out there. I prefer just a flat call here.
James into this event for just $380. He's 64 years old, from Seattle, retired from the Army, plans to buy a new truck with the cash that he wins. And James is going to win this pot as Joe releases his hand. And I think Joe just wanted to find out where he was, and he found out real quick.
He sure did.
All right, blinds are $40,000, $80,000 with a $10K ante. James Larson is my name, alongside Robert Williamson III. We've seen some great poker all week long, my friend, and what a prize pool. Over $1 million, 761 players, and they all had to battle through the storm just to get up the mountain.
Yeah, that's before you get the battlefield, the green felt.
If you're watching this and you think you have what it takes to play at the final table, well, give it a shot. Check us out online at www.hptpoker.com. And who knows, maybe you'll be playing for the life-changing cash.
And don't forget the fact they'll be crowned the HPT champion of the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor event.
And once you're an HPT champion, Robert, you're always an HPT champ. We don't take that away from you.
Champion for life.
Jose is going to make the call from the small blind with a little blackjack hand, a suited up 8 tray. And now from the big blind, Alex is going to raise it up to 180,000 with King Jack. And Jose says, yeah, I'll make the call. Let's go ahead and see a flop. I might get lucky.
Alex continuing his bullying ways.
All right, the flop. Look at that, Robert. 6 straight deuce, couple of spades.
I'll tell you what, flopping a pair and a flush draw, one of the strongest hands in poker because you always either have the best hand or the best, at least the best drawing hand.
Now the turn card is the 7 of clubs. Jose is going to bet 225,000. I like that bet. Probably enough here to get Alex to get off his hand, but I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again as he makes the call.
I think you were giving Alex good advice, but he didn't listen to it.
I was trying. Now, we have the whole card cameras here, so it's a little easier for us. 7 of diamonds comes on the river. Was he floating to try to catch a king or a jack there? Just hoping to pick up the pot that way?
Yeah, I think that, and also position. And if Jose had checked it here, which he doesn't, he bets. That's, once again, that's a blocker bet. Wow, and Alex calls with king high. Wow, that's a questionable call.
Wow, 325,000 and a call. I'm a little curious call there by Alex at the end. What was he thinking?
Well, sometimes you got to make hero calls. He was right that his opponent was weak, but not weak enough, and Alex continues to slide.
$240,000 up top for the winner, and when we come back, we'll have more exciting final table coverage. You're watching the HPT.
Welcome back to the beautiful Black Hawk, Colorado, where we are now 5-handed. Let's get right into the final table action.
Jose's, he's up top. Right behind him, Joe, and then James, Alex, and Jacob. A lot of money on the line tonight on the HPT, just over $240,000. Blinds, antes are up. It's $50,000, $100,000 with a $10K ante. I do want to thank the property one more time, the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor. They have been a partner of ours for so many years, and it's just great to come out here. It's a beautiful area. Black Hawk, Colorado. We did another $1 million prize pool with 761 players. It's a big deal for us on the HPT to have $1 million in the prize pool that we can give out to our players, and we did it for the 8th time in a row. So not only thank the property, but I have to thank the players because they're the ones that created this awesome prize pool.
And a late position raise from Joe Sirac, call from the big blind from Alex, and now let's see the flop.
And the flop is 10-7 deuce, couple of hearts. Action will start with Alex. He checks.
Yeah, these kind of flops don't fit a lot of hands that are raising to begin with.
Alex got the gutter ball straight. Joe's going to check as well. Go to the turn card now. 6 of clubs.
Well, that's a big card for Alex's hand. It gives him a flush draw and a straight draw.
He's reaching for chips. No surprise. Alex likes to get him in the middle. 300,000. Joe's got the best of it right now with a pair of 6s.
Yeah, this is still a tough call for Joe. But he makes the tough call.
Joe's going to make the call. Over 1 million chips in the pot. And the river card is the 10 of diamonds.
And that's a very good card for Joe Sirac's hand as Alex checks over to him. Because if Joe had the best hand already on the turn, he still has the best hand. A lot of the draws didn't get there. He still decides to check it down, though. Pot's big enough for him, and Alex is continuing his slide of chips. The chips just keep flowing away from his stack and into other people's stacks.
Yeah, just a little bit of a slump for Alex. What do you tell yourself when you're in that position? You know, because you definitely don't want to go on tilt. You tell yourself, all right, I just need to be patient. What do you do in that position?
A lot of times I try to take advantage of the fact that people think that I'm on tilt and hope and pray I wake up with a big hand.
The action continues here. Blinds are 50,000, 100,000 with a 10K ante. It's James Larson and Robert Williamson III broadcasting from the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor. Joe folds over to Jim now in the 9 seat. Talked about this before. Jim into this thing for just $380. What a great return on his investment. Right now, by the way, all the players are guaranteed $49,000 and change, but up top, they all want to be our new champion and go home with a life-changing cash of $240,000. So first James raises, and now a 3-bet by Alex, but he finally picked up a hand.
This is perfect timing. Just like I said, that's the best thing you can have happen to you. Wake up with a hand, and everybody thinks that you might be on tilt.
So Jacob gets out of the way, and now action back to the original raiser. James in the 9 seat with ace-8, and he's going to make the call way behind here to Alex's ace-queen.
What we call a dominated hand.
Heads up, we go to the flop, and it comes out 10-9-7. So having that 8 in the hand for Jimmy, not so bad now.
Yes, flop's an open and straight draw, but I'll tell you what, Alex leads at this pot. I think he's pot committed. He's got a lot of his chips in the middle here.
500,000 chips is the bet from Alex. Now he is ahead in the hand, but as you can see, James open-ended for the straight. And James is going to make the call. He's open for a 6 or a jack. That's not one of them. The 2 of clubs. Now Alex checks there.
Oh, Alex has got too many chips in the middle here. I think I would have pushed on this. I either would have shoved or would not have led at that flop. One of the two.
Now James checks as well here. So a pot of over 2 million chips. The river card is a blank for James. It's the 4 of diamonds. Alex has no idea, but he's going to win this hand with ace high.
Well, sometimes the best hand does win.
Wow. And that's good for Alex. A little bit of positive reinforcement for him and his chip stack.
He not only needed the confidence builder, but he also needed the chips.
Alex Yen, 29 years old, from Lisle, Illinois. He's got over 100,000 in lifetime earnings, and he's hoping to pad that tonight. Boy, imagine that going home with $240,000. You've done that a few times. What's that feeling like?
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, yeah. All right, pocket 9s for Jose. He's going to go ahead and raise it up to $250,000. Alex folds on the button. Wow, I don't see that very often. First of all, Alex folding and folding on the button.
Yes, a rare combination for sure.
On.
Now Jacob in a small blind is going to 3-bet shove. He's all in.
Like 2-4, 2-3.
2-3, 2-4.
Folded around back to the original raiser of Jose.
And this is a tough spot for Jose. With 2 9s, he makes it like it was an easy call. The only problem with having 2 9s and making that monster call is you're hoping you're a coin flip. Otherwise, you're dominated. So that's a tough call, but Jose made the call.
Fair fight, yeah.
Jose's pocket 9s up against the 2 big overs in the flop. 2 10s and a 6, couple of clubs out there.
Jacob is going to need some help here, either club, an ace, a queen, something to help. But no, that's not one. Just an ace or a queen. His tournament life at risk.
And the river card is the 5 of spades, and that is going to do it for Jacob. He's eliminated, but not before we pay him $49,221. Still not a bad day on the felt.
Tell you what, he had ace-queen one time. It won for him. The next time not. Some days you live by the sword. Some days you die by the sword.
So now your final 4 players will battle it out, and we're going to find out who our new champion is going to be. So don't go too far. We've got more exciting final table action coming up. You're watching the HPT. Welcome back to the HPT. I'm James Larson, joined by poker professional Robert Williamson III. Before we get back to the action at the final table, you're a professional poker player. We all know that. I got a question for you that I want to know. What's the best part of your job?
Every day is a holiday. We don't have a set work schedule. We get to work when we want, play when we want. It's a pretty good life. I ain't gonna lie to you, but like Doyle says, it's an easy way to make a hard living.
What if you start running bad, though? You run ice cold. Do you ever think, maybe I should just get a real job?
Not in this lifetime.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Up top of the chip count, Jose, but right behind him, Joe, followed by James and Alex. Only 4 players remain up top, just over $240,000. But right now, they're guaranteed just over $67,000. I'd take that right there.
It's going to say not a bad payday in itself.
A couple times a year we come out here. It's like a vacation for us. It's beautiful, very scenic, but a lot of snow this trip. We were all kind of snowed in, but if you're going to be stuck somewhere, you might as well be someplace that's got great food and great poker action, and they have both of that here. Blinds are $50,000, $100,000 with a $10K ante. Pocket deuces for Joe. He's going to raise it $200,000. James picks up a good hand. Ace-Jack makes the call. And Alex is going to come along from the big blind with a suited up 4 tray, one of those dangerous hands.
Ooh, speaking of danger, wow. Joe Sirac flops a set, but notice Alex has an open and straight draw with that little 3-4.
Alex is going to check. Joe likes it. Some players check flopped set, but I like Joe betting here. I like the amount too, $225,000. Bring the guys along.
Yeah, I think I might have bet a little more, but not much.
James is going to get out of the way. Alex, going to be hard for him to lay this down. Open-ended. We know he's got gamble in him. We do know that.
Yeah, this is kind of a catch-22.
Oh, wow, look at this. All in.
Catch-22 was, does he just call or does he shove it? He does. Wow.
Look at that.
And Joe makes the easy call.
Joe's got some cards to fade, though, my friend.
He does. An ace or a 6 would be a very helpful card for Alex.
And that's not one of them. The 10 of hearts on the turn, so very thin now for Alex. He's looking for either an ace or a 6, or he'll be eliminated in 4th place. Joe's very calm and cool. They both are. Alex is standing up, though. A lot of players love to stand up when they're all in.
Makes it a little easier to walk away from the table if disaster strikes.
And that is disaster for Alex, the jack of spades, and that is going to do it. Joe wins the hand, a huge pot, over 4.5 million chips. Alex shakes the hands of the other players, and he's going to go home. Nice little payday, though, right here in the HPT, just over $67,000. And Alex was very aggressive. That's probably how he got to this final table. We didn't see him on day 2, but he accumulated a lot of chips. And
sometimes you live by the sword, and sometimes you die by the same sword.
So now only 3 players remain. We're getting so close to crowning our new HPT champion.
And looky, big slick for Jose.
I like it. Jose
just tricky. I think because Joe has played so aggressive, Jose limps, hoping Joe raises so Jose can re-raise.
Small and big blind. And look at this flop. Ace, 6, 5. Couple of diamonds hits both players. Jose with the ace, Joe with the 6.
And with no pre-flop raise from Jose, it's hard for Joe not to think he has the best hand here.
Looks like Joe's got a scarf. I didn't see that on the hand before. He's now wearing a nice black scarf. I'm not sure where he got that. Third card's the 9 of diamonds. Things starting to get a little more coordinated out there. Maybe that'll save Joe some chips, but Jose is going to continue to bet this, $310,000.
Yeah, I thought that card might slow Jose down a little bit, but instead it just encourages him to take the pot down. Joe, pretty easy fold at that point, with the diamond and a straight also getting there at the same time.
Started with 761 players. Now we are down to our final 3. A lot of money on the line here in the snowy mountains of Black Hawk, Colorado. On the button now, Joe raises to $200,000. Over to James in the small blind. He's kind of sandwiched between a couple of great players, and he's all in.
And he's going to get called. Joe Sirach's not going to back down with the big slick.
Jose gets out of the way. Joe makes the call, so it's ace-king up against ace-10.
And that's what we call a dominated hand. And right now, James is in some trouble for his tournament life.
James, 64 years old, from Seattle, Washington. He just ran his ace-10 directly into the buzzsaw. He stands up and awaits his fate, and the flop is King Jack Trey.
And a good flop for Joe, because now James, still alive in the hand, needs a queen or running 10s.
Gutter ball Broadway. Ace of diamonds comes on the turn. That's no help to James. And now the river card, the 7 of clubs.
And just like that, we're down to heads up. Jimmy, as somebody around here likes to say, ran into the buzzsaw.
Come on, I got one line and now you're trying to steal it. Well, congratulations to Jim. He turned a $380 qualifier into exactly $97,548, so congratulations to him. But we also lost the most aggressive player at the table, Alex. He's going home in 4th place with $67,456. So after this quick commercial break, it's my favorite part of the show. It's Heads Up Poker. Don't go too far.
Welcome back to the Golden Gates Casino, where we are heads up, guys. We are so close to crowning that champion. We just lost James Bryan, who is taking home $97,000. Let's get right into that action and see who's going to take home that crown.
You see the chip counts there, but I say it each and every week. It's anybody's game.
It surely is. I think that we're seeing the 2 best players playing heads up here. They both played awesome poker today.
Now, it's so important when you talk about the pay jump here. First place is $240,523. Second is $148,895. So
Almost $90,000 difference.
a little heads-up $90,000 grudge match here. And the flop is Ace King 9 Rainbow, hitting both players' hands.
A little something for everyone. Joe with the best hand right now, top pair. Of course, Jose doesn't know that second pair is not the best hand.
Joe checks. Jose bets $225,000. I love Joe's look. He's got the scarf. He's got the sunglasses. He looks like a movie star.
Well, some people say we're more like rock stars.
Oh, you poker players? Are you part of that group too?
Well, you know, kind of categorize myself.
All right. Turn card. 7 of hearts. Jose likes it.
Yes, he does. Now Jose catapults into the lead with 2 pair. And once again, it's hard for Joe not to think he still has the best hand. He has top pair. They are playing heads-up poker.
$450,000 is the bet.
I think if I'm Joe in this spot, I'm going to definitely call here. I'm not going to raise, but I'm definitely going to call.
Joe is going to make the call.
And obviously, not a good call, but it's hard to decipher these things sometimes.
River card now is the 10 of spades, so nothing changes. We'll see if Joe bets.
I think now when Jose bets, Joe's got a little tougher call.
Joe checks.
Assuming that Jose does decide to value bet this.
What do you think? $650,000? $700,000?
I think $1 million straight. It looks like you might be bluffing that way.
$950,000.
Well, that's close to $1 million.
Well, I win because you're actually over. It's Price is Right rules. Over to Joe now to make the call.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for Joe. I think with this coordinated board after the 10 came, I think I could probably lay this down myself. And Joe does the same.
He's going to do just that. He is a great poker player. We saw it last week. We saw it this week. It's heads-up poker at its best. So, Robert Williamson III, you've been in this situation so many times in your life, playing heads-up poker for a whole lot of money. What's it like, and how much time do you have to figure out your opponent, and how important is it to read that said opponent?
Well, basically reading your opponent is more important than the cards you're dealt. That's how important it is.
And how do you get good at that? Players ask me that on the road all the time, and I don't know what to tell them. Practice?
A lot of it's practice. A lot of it's situational analysis. You just have to really think, like, what would I do if I were him? You got to keep putting yourself in your position of thinking like your opponent.
Flop is Queen 4 tray, couple of spades. And in heads-up poker, your opponent can really have any 2 cards.
Absolutely. And Joe flops top pair.
Jose checks. Joe bets his top pair.
And a pretty loose call here. But Jose doesn't know that the ace high isn't the best hand still. And he does have backdoor spades, just in case. Oh, well, that changes everything.
Hello. Ace of clubs on the turn. Jose goes in the lead.
And I like that check there. There's no sense in inflating this pot and making this pot any bigger, especially with 2 flush draws out there and a straight already there. And Joe wisely checks behind, too. And, oh, my gosh, this has changed every street. Now Joe's got the best hand with 2 pair. Jose's going to try to represent the best hand with the club hitting the board and another straight hitting the board. But I think we'll see a pretty easy call from Joe Sirac here, though.
Jose bets $650,000. Joe reaching for chips.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see a raise. But then again, we just might. That's a very aggressive play. Opens the betting back up also. So you got a little danger there in case your opponent decides to get frisky with the weird hand.
First Jose was ahead, then Joe was ahead, then Jose was ahead, and now Joe's ahead. It's a roller coaster hand. And the winner of the hand is going to be Joe.
And a great value raise on the river by Joe. I don't know if I could have done that myself in that spot, actually.
You know, we've talked about how great poker Joe's played, but let's not forget about Jose, too. He hasn't had too many missteps. This guy's had a great tournament thus far, and now he's heads up for the title.
Yeah, they both have played great here today at this final table.
Jose has over $600,000 in lifetime earnings. He final tabled our HPT event in St. Louis, so this is his second final table. It's always hard to get used to the lights and the cameras, and talk about that. It's different to play on TV than it is just in a regular game.
It is, but I'll tell you what, we'll come right back to that. We've got a pot developing here. Wow, Jose open raises. Now Joe re-raises. 2 jacks versus ace queen. This is what we call hand versus hand, and these pots sometimes can swell.
Jose is going to make the call. And we go now to the flop. The flop is king 6-4 rainbow.
Well, that might slow them both down. Jose didn't hit, but Joe, with an overcard out there, still doesn't know if he has the best hand. We'll probably still see a bet here from Joe because there's only one overcard on the board.
Joe makes a bet of 700,000. Action over to Jose. Jose is from New York. Grew up in the Bronx, so you know he's tough.
Yeah, you have to survive in the Bronx, right?
Turn card now, the ace of clubs. Bingo, bingo, bango.
Well, the only thing there I can say for Joe is, with 2 overcards, he's probably going to get out with minimal damage. Oh, and Jose decides to play tricky and checks behind Joe.
All right, we go now to the river card. It's the 6 of clubs, so Joe improves to 2 pair, but Jose's got him beat with his 2 pair.
And Joe's not going for that just because he checked. Nah, I think Joe is done with this pot. If Jose makes a bet, Joe's going to lay it down.
1.2.
Jose is going to make a bet now. He bets 1.2 million. I don't think Joe's going to make this call.
This is a really tight spot just because Jose checked that turn card. But I think with this board, I think Joe Sirach can lay this down, and he does.
All right, so Joe folds his hand and Jose wins, but I got to give credit to Joe. I probably would have gone broke heads up in that position.
It could have easily gone 4-bet, 5-bet, all in, shove fest. No, Joe Sirach decides let's play small ball, the professional way to play, and now he's got a lot of chips still to battle with.
I love watching heads-up poker, especially with a couple of professionals like Jose and Joe. And when we come back, we'll have more exciting coverage of this HPT nationally televised final table.
Welcome, everyone, to the HPT. I'm Drea Renee, and we are here at the gorgeous Golden Gates Casino in beautiful Black Hawk, Colorado. What an amazing turnout we've had this week. We've hit our 8th consecutive $1 million prize pool. That is so much money, and we are so excited. We're going to step back into the poker room and take a look at those chip counts.
Jose with a pretty big lead, but it's Joe Sirach. You can never count him out.
No way, Jose.
Hey!
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I had to say it.
I knew you were waiting to get that thing in. I just knew it. Blinds are 80,000, 160,000 with a 20K ante.
And look at this. Back-to-back jacks. Pocket pair for Joe Sirach.
Yeah, this is not a repeat. It's the same hand he just had before the commercial break. Pocket jacks, he's going to raise to 320,000.
And a similar hand for Jose. Ace-9 off. Not quite as premium as ace-queen, hence the flat call, not raise.
Go to the flop now. It's 10-9-6 rainbow. So Jose catches a piece of that with the 9.
Yeah, dangerous flop for Jose just because Joe with the overpair, Jose catches middle pair. It's hard to get away from these kind of hands, especially heads up. I mean, we're playing heads up poker.
Not a whole lot of banter between the two. When you play heads up poker, do you kind of keep to yourself?
You know, it depends on the opponent. If I feel like I can gain an advantage from talking it up and maybe be a little distracting, I'll talk it up. But most of the time, yeah, pretty quiet.
Turn card is the deuce of spades. Jose checks over to Joe. Joe still with the pocket jacks, the aggressor in the hand. He's reaching for chips.
I don't blame him. This is a really key bet to protect your hand with the overpair.
He bets a cool $1 million.
A lot of scare cards can come on this river. You know, Joe is probably middle of the road whether he wants a call or not. Well,
Jose's going to make the call.
Whether he wanted it or not, he got it.
River card now is the 7 of diamonds.
That's a scare card there. That might slow this action down a bit. The only thing scarier would have been a flush and a straight draw getting there, but 4 to a straight, that's scary enough. Might slow down the action here.
So Joe is going to check. We'll flip over the cards, and we're going to see that Joe is the winner of that hand, a pot of just under 3.5 million chips.
So even though that card didn't get Jose the pot, it saved him a lot of money.
I got a feeling we're going to probably be here for a while, heads up.
Yeah.
And Joe looks like he's trying to play a little small ball.
Yeah, you see that from the pros a lot of the time because they feel like they can just chip away at other players. But unfortunately for Joe, he's got a really tough opponent in Jose. I don't think he's going to be able to accomplish that goal without a fight.
So Jose raises to $400,000, and now a 3-bet by Joe with pocket sixes. We're going up to $1 million plus.
And I don't blame either player here.
Ace 4 against pocket sixes. Again, on the HPT, I see a lot of people want to just get it all in pre-flop. Look at this flop. Ace 4 tray.
Well, even though that fits Jose's hand, obviously, with 2-pair, Joe might be able to get out of this without too much damage. And as I say that, he bets into the pot.
$600,000. He's going to find out where he's at, though, real quick, I have a feeling. Maybe Jose can just flap this, though.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter.
That might even be more suspicious if he just flats.
Yeah, especially since Joe's trying to represent the ace that Jose actually has.
And Jose is going to raise now to $1.5 million.
And the reason why that's a great raise in this spot, fantastic raise, in case he catches Joe with a big ace and he flops 2-pair, he might be able to get all the chips in the middle. So great raise there by Jose.
All right, a lot of money on the line here, Robert. Up top, just over $240,000. Second place, $148,895. Look at that. The players are talking a little bit. Jose smiled.
Table banter? What?
Have some cocktails, guys. You're playing for a huge score. You're guaranteed at least $148,895. I'd be buying rounds for everybody in the casino.
I think you're going to see quite opposite from these two.
Yeah, they take it obviously very seriously. The flop is 10-6 deuce, couple of hearts. Joe takes his shades off to look at the flop twice.
And a little bit of a fit for both hands. Jose flopping middle pair. Joe with a gut shot, straight draw, and backdoor heart draw.
Joe's a hard guy to read. He's got the sunglasses on. You're a little distracted by the haircut.
Yeah, I don't think I can pull that haircut off myself. But it looks great on him. But I don't think I can pull that off.
So Joe bets $250,000. Jose makes the call.
Oh, and looky there. The straight gets there for Joe.
4 of clubs comes on the turn. How about a check right here?
The board's too coordinated. I think you have to lead at this pot. 2 hearts, 2 clubs. Yeah, you can't let a free card come off. There are too many danger cards. And from my lips to Joe's mind.
That's why you're the professional poker player and I wear makeup. A little weird. All right, Joe bets $650,000.
I don't blame Jose for calling here. He's got second pair.
And the river card is the king of hearts. I don't think that heart is going to slow Joe down at all. Just a matter of how much does he bet here.
Yeah, when you have a straight and a flush gets there on the river, it takes a flush to beat your hand. You got to get some value out of this. Joe thinks the same way. He's going to make a nice value bet here. That's a little over $1 million.
We'll see if Jose can make the call.
It's a really tough spot. And he calls.
Well, I got to say, Robert, a nice little value bet there, especially with that scary card on the river.
I'll tell you what, a lot of players leave that extra money laying there on the field. He did not. Joe Sirach maximized it. And you know what? Now he's got some more chips to fight.
And speaking of chips and money, one of these guys, they'll be our new champion and go home with just over $240,000. So don't go too far. We've got more final table action coming up. Welcome back to the HPT. It's James Larson and Robert Williamson III. We're in Blackhawk, Colorado here at the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor. Who do you think it's going to be, my friend? Will it be Jose or will it be Joe?
Well, right now I'd have to go with Jose because he's in the chip lead. But Joe Sirach, excellent player, played against him for years.
We're glad you could join us here on the HPT. I promise you, we will crown a champion tonight. It's going to happen. Blinds are $100,000, $200,000 with a $30K ante. So the price of poker has definitely gone up. Heads up poker, the small blind is the button and is first to act.
And we're seeing some aggression from the button from Jose.
Look at this flop. 6-4 tray, all spades.
Joe flops a straight flush.
Wow.
You'll never see this in poker.
He flopped a straight flush, and now the 7 of diamonds comes on the turn. He should get a free hat or something.
Well, that also gives Jose a pair, so now maybe Joe can get a little payoff.
Joe bets 500,000.
You just don't see many straight flushes.
I've been on the road with these guys here for a lot of years, and I've not seen that here on national television. A flopped straight flush. Now we go to the river card. It's the deuce of diamonds.
And Joe's looking for the right amount to bet. Maybe $1 million, about half pot, 900. Feels about right. Maybe 8, because there's so many straight cards on the board. Maybe he'll only bet 800. Of course, I think he's going for the maximum payday.
1.2 million.
Just in case Jose's got a straight or 2 pair, he's going for the maximum.
Wow, he's going to call them. They flip over the cards, and Jose's going to realize, I'm not only beat, but I'm beat by a straight flush.
Just barely got me.
He says, yeah, you got me. Yeah, just kind of.
Barely. Wow, where's this free hat?
I know.
Get a free hat or something?
Give the guy something, but he just did drag a pretty nice-sized pot, though. And he did maximize that straight flush, which doesn't always happen.
Yeah, if he had bet that flop originally, he might not have gotten called with just a gut shot straight draw for Jose. Well played, Joe Sirac.
It's heads-up poker at its best here on the HPT. Action will start with Joe. He's going to raise to 400,000.
Yeah, we see a call by Jose. Continued aggression from the button. I love it.
And look at this flop. King 10-4, couple of hearts, hitting both players this flop is. Jose pairs his king, Joe pairs his 10.
And Jose smartly checks that over to Joe, let him hang his own self.
And Joe's going to bet 525,000.
And with a coordinated flop like that, that's what Joe is supposed to do with middle pair. Make a bet, protect his hand.
Turn card now, the 9 of spades. Where did that come from?
Wow, what a cooler card that is. 2 pair for both of them.
Wow, this tournament could be over right now on this hand. Jose reaching for chips. They both love the turn card, both making 2 pair. Jose bet 700,000.
I'd be shocked if we don't see a raise here from Joe Sirac.
Maybe Joe can sniff this out, though. Maybe he can find out where he's. It's going to be tough, though. He made 2 pair as well.
Just calls. That's a monster just call. I mean,
we've seen a lot of this small ball here, heads up. River card now is the ace of spades. Action on Jose. His hand is good. Kings and 9s.
1.2.
I like a bet here still. 1.2 million. I might have bet a little more. I might have bet 1.6. I like half the pot in this spot.
So the bet is 1.2 million chips from Jose.
King 9.
And he just calls. Wow, I can't believe Joe didn't lose any more chips than he did in this hand. I mean, wow.
King of spades, 9 of hearts.
Unbelievable. Once again, Joe minimizing the damage to his chip stack here. And, he could be on the rail right now.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, I hate to say it, but I might have gone broke on that hand.
Unbelievable. So 2 players remain. We started this tournament with 761 players. Our 8th time in a row we hit $1 million in the prize pool. And tonight we'll crown our new champion, and that person, either Jose or Joe, will go home with just over 240,000. Joe's going to raise to 400,000. Jose makes the call.
And the button aggression continues. They're just pounding on each other on the button.
2 8s and a jack.
Opening straight draw for Jose and a gut shot straight draw for Joe.
Jose checks over to Joe.
Jose's definitely in the driver's seat right now, even though neither player has a pair.
Joe bets 500,000 chips, and Jose's not going anywhere. It's just a matter if he wants to raise here.
Yeah, with the paired board, he's probably just going to flat, but yeah, he's definitely going to call.
Jose makes the call. Turn card now is the 5 of hearts.
Interesting card. It gives Joe an additional straight draw for a 6. That might keep Joe betting, or wait. Looks like Jose's going to try to represent the 8.
So much on the line here in this heads-up match. Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor right here in beautiful Blackhawk, Colorado. The bet is 900,000.
And with that additional straight draw, I think we're going to see Joe at least call. It looks like he's reaching for more than just a call. I think he's raising.
That is a raise to $2.3 million.
Wow. Let the meta games begin.
$5 million?
So Jose re-raises to $5 million.
Wow. This pot has swelled and swelled and swelled. I can't believe it's gotten this big.
You know, this could be the tournament right here, Robert.
We've got 10 high versus 9 high.
I know, I see it. And Joe is going to fold. The winner of the hand is Jose. Wow.
You can say that again. A 10 million chip pot, 1 by 10 high, bluff, rebluff, re-rebluff. Wow.
It's official. We've seen it all tonight here at this nationally televised final table. And when we come back, you will see the conclusion. And we're going to hand out some money to the tune of just over $240,000 to our new HPT champion. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the HPT. I'm James Larson. He's Robert Williamson III. 2 players remain. It's heads-up poker for the title and just over $240,000. We've seen a lot of hands heads up. Kind of a marathon session going on, Robert.
The reason why is these players are both really good players. Both of them, not one to just take a coin flip and get this thing over with. Both of them trying to chip away at the other player.
It's time to wrap this thing up. There's the chip count.
Jose Montez has the momentum right now and a 3-1 chip lead. Joe Sirac starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable.
So much on the line tonight. $240,523 for first. Second place money, $148,895. So Joe's going to raise with his ace jack up to $400,000.
In the back over there, it's all green in the back. It's just that white stack in the front, right?
Yeah.
Jose's trying to find out how many chips his opponent has.
All in.
And now an all-in raise by Jose. And Joe quickly calls.
I'll tell you what, Joe's got his money in a really good spot. Has a great chance of doubling up right here.
Yeah, ace-jack against ace-7. Joe loves all of this.
Let's get some chop outs at least.
Jose's talking about he's got some additional chop outs.
It's never a good feeling when you're talking about chop outs, but he is way behind here to the ace jack of Joe. Joe's hoping to double up and get right back into this match.
I think they're talking about trying to do it twice, but we don't allow that here on the HPT.
No, of course.
Oh, and look at this flop.
9, 7, 6, couple of spades, but most importantly, Jose pairs his 7.
And now because of that pair of 7s that Jose flopped, Joe's going to need a jack or some runner routes, or he's going to be out of this tournament. The tournament's going to be over. And now a jack, and only a jack can save Joe.
It's the hand of the night, and it's over. The deuce of diamonds comes on the river, and that's it. We have our brand new HPT champion. Jose's taken down the title and $240,523.
Tell you what, padding his bankroll will help him later on, even though today he's devastated.
Let's head down to the felt now, where Drea Renee is catching up with Joe, our second place finisher.
All right, guys, we are here at the HPT main event in Black Hawk, Colorado at the gorgeous Golden Gate Casino with our second place finisher, Joe Sirac. Joe, how are you feeling right now? $148,000 just went into your pocket.
Yeah, that's pretty great. I feel awesome about that, obviously. Physically hurting, so I'm glad it's over and I can go lay down and all that stuff.
Take me through your thought process with that last hand.
At ace jack, and that's a monster. Heads up. And he shoved. I called. I mean, the hand just played itself.
All right, guys, there you have it. Joe Sirac with second place. We're going to send it back over to you guys.
All right, well, once again, congratulations to Joe. A nice payday for his second place finish here on the HPT. But the star of the night is Jose. He's our new champion. Going to go home with just over $240,000.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what all he's going to do with the money, but he's got a lot of money to do it with.
He's down with Drea right now for a quick interview. We'll send it down to the floor.
Hey guys, we are here at the Golden Gates Casino with our HPT main event winner, Jose Sugar Montez. Let's give it up for him, guys. Jose, $240,000. Whoa. What are you going to do? How are you feeling?
Surreal. It's a surreal feeling. I'm very happy and very fortunate. Very lucky, very blessed.
At what point tonight did you think, I'm going to win this, I can do this?
Probably when we got like 5-handed, but I already knew that Joe was going to be in it long term with me, and I knew it was going to be tough, really, really tough, and it was probably going to be a cool little win. And I got lucky at the end also, so I'll take it. I'm not complaining.
So $240,000, you have a baby and one on the way. What does this mean for your family?
Tons. Can't even describe it.
Well, I know that little bun in the oven is going to be one little happy baby. I'm so happy for you. Do you have anything you want to say back to your fans at home?
I love you, Alejandrina.
All right, guys, there you have it, our HPT champion, Jose Sugar Montes. All right, we'll get back to you guys in the studio.
All right, congratulations one more time to Jose as he goes home with the title and just over $240,000. And that's our show here from Blackhawk, Colorado at the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor. I'm not going to lie to you, pal. I'm exhausted.
Exhausted? It was a marathon. Heck, I feel like I ran a marathon.
And for the 8th consecutive time here in Colorado, our prize pool surpasses $1 million. So thank you to all of our players and especially everybody here at the property. Now, if you're watching this show and you're thinking, well, I'd like to go home with just over $240,000, because who wouldn't? Log on to the website, www.hptpoker.com. For Drea Renee, he's Robert Williamson III. I'm James Larson, and we'll see you next time on the HPT.